Friday night Supercars here on SimSpeed TV, and we are at the wonderful Donington National Circuit. This is the Australian Online Supercar Championship. My name is Scotty Fountain. Joining me in the commentary box tonight, not really kind of a regular on Friday night. He's been around a few times. It's Cam Dance. Welcome, Cam, to the comms box.
Yeah, cheers. It's good to be here, and going to be interesting to see how tonight goes, with it being a 150-kilometre race here at Donington on the national circuit.
Yeah, you're certainly right, Cam. It's a wonderful circuit. It was probably one of the first circuits I ever drove on a computer game as such, back in the late 90s on Toka touring cars. Had the demo, and this was the only track that you could drive on, and got to know it very, very well. So when it came to iRacing, I was certainly pretty excited. Joining us as well on the buttons, he's not joining us in commentary, which is a bit of a change. Seems to say that it's too hot to be commentating and directing as well. That's Jay Kennedy pushing the buttons. So my regular commentary buddy on a Friday night is just standing out. Doesn't want to talk to me tonight, but that is absolutely fine. And we will have fun either way, won't we, Cam? It's going to be a great race, and got some pretty good drivers lining up for tonight. Brett Loxton currently setting the pace with a 1:06 flat, and then following closely behind, Jordan Ross, Harley Haber. Good to see him out there having a crack tonight. Also Marlon McMullen joining the ranks as well. Yeah, pretty big field tonight, 49 cars out there, so good to see plenty of great racing. 150k is going to be a lot of fun. So just currently in qualifying, nearly 9 minutes through qualifying now, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the track goes, guys. Obviously with the day-night transitions, and it's very variable on what the track temperature change is a lot more rapid than what it used to be, and it's taken these guys a lot to get used to. So expect to see plenty of carnage out there tonight. I reckon we'll see some great racing. Last week we had our first of our Enduros, and it was an absolutely fantastic battle, and really on our seats for the stuff. So good to see Brett Loxton, Jordan Ross and Harley Haber really fight it out. In sort of previous events, we see Harley really take it sort of in the start of the race. He generally pushes on pretty hard and manages to do all right. So good to see him up there. Plenty of runoff at this track, and yeah, it should be all in all out great racing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw last season when we came here for I'm pretty sure it was also a 150 as well, that it was actually really good racing. Everybody seemed to be having battles through the pack, and it was really good to see. So hopefully get the repeat of that tonight and see what happens. I mean, looking at qualifying, it's extremely close, and with only a handful of corners around this track, it's all about pretty much just linking it all up together, really.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Currently focused on Harley Haber as he is. Looks like he's starting a lap, or he's just completed a lap. Where he's going to have a second one. It looks like he's going to have a fair crack at it. He has got a clear run as he comes through turn one. Very interesting turn one. You can easily overshoot it as you come through this full section of track, and then you can quite fast right hand as we come through here. Found the gas pretty much all the way through. The car can certainly get pretty light through this section of the track once that Dunlop rubber starts to wear out on the brakes there. Change it down a gear, back on the gas, and then power through the turn. Another right-hander coming up, and then we're on the back straight. And that's pretty much the lap done, really, isn't it, Cam?
Yeah, it's a really short lap. I mean, fantastic circuit in general, but the national circuit just makes it that little bit more interesting, because you've kind of got less opportunities to really make any overtakes. So you've got to really plan your passes corners ahead, in fact. So it's possibly going to see a number of dive bombs, possibly going to see some guys doing some pretty good moves. We'll have to wait and see.
Yep, one person who's on screen now who's reasonably new to the iRacing scene. I certainly hadn't seen his name around before, and that's Jack Boyd, currently sitting in P5, doing a fantastic ride up there last week, and also the round before that as well. So good to see these new guys coming through and really challenging some of these older heads in the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to see newer names around in the service and seeing them also challenge those who have been around for a while. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Jack goes tonight. Currently sitting fifth in qualifying, so not doing too bad for himself. Only about 2/10 roughly off what Loxton is doing for pole. So be
Not
interesting to see how it
bad.
goes. And yeah,
Not
not
bad
bad.
at
So
all, really.
top five.
Not bad at all, considering he is so new. Another name out there, expect to be probably for sell on track, but very consistent, great at pit stop strategy, and runs for a great team, and that is the man in P number 8, Ross Rizzo. Does a fantastic job, really great at anything he jumps into, and he's jumped in the commentary box and helped us out here a couple of times, which we certainly hope to have him jump back in at some stage. Another person who's also very quick on screen now, Jordan Ross. Expect him to challenge Brett Loxton. Brett is a very fast driver, and we saw him win last championship, which he was certainly waiting to do. He's been around for a very long time, and generally got caught up in other people's incidents and had a bit of bad luck with mechanical failures as such. And Brett will certainly want to be having a great run tonight, but Jordan will not make it easy for him. So being such a short sprint race, I'm interested to see how the tyres kind of handle things. We will see a mandatory yellow flag go out and safety car roll around, so that gives the drivers an opportunity. Oh, as we're just watching Jordan Ross there, he was on a lap, I reckon, and we wanted to have a good crack. Now we flick back to Harley Haber. Harley has really come of age in recent times. Harley kind of struggled out there and was very aggressive and kind of a little bit of a bad rap for himself, but since joining the Redback Racing team has done a fantastic job and has really kind of controlled the aggression, and is still aggressive on track and likes to let the drivers know that he's out there, but doing a fantastic job. So expect to see him really, really challenge these guys, as we're seeing all those pursuit cars really hanging it out there in the background of Haber. So yes, Redback Racing team, fantastic team. They have been around for a very, very long time, but since Mark Samuel came in and took over the running of that show, they've already just gone from strength to strength and really taken quite a dominant figure within the Supercar racing in the Oz NZI racing community. So that team is certainly on the up, and expect them to win championships in coming years.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been really, really good to see them come of age, more or less, the team. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future. I mean, we've seen they got coached by Richard Hampstead in the previous season of AOSC. We've seen Haber, since he's joined Redback Racing team, grow and be coached and nurtured and eventually get to the point where he is. He's, like you said, still a little bit aggressive, but he's not overly aggressive like he used to be. So that's one key point that he has on him, and probably come the future, he may actually be a threat to most of these guys. I mean,
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, he races in real life and does not a bad job, and he's really learnt to control that aggression. I think having someone like Mark kind of on top of him, just telling him what to do, giving him some advice, and I know that they have some great support from real life racing people and who help them do the setup kind of stuff. One of the guys is a relation to Paul Radisich. So I think that has really worked out well for them, and they will certainly extend their program and go better. And I think that we will see them certainly challenge for event wins and championships in the V8 Supercar Online Premier Series sometime in the near future.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously everyone gets to a point where they more or less have to hang the gloves up and retire from sim racing. Can't discount, obviously, the older folk who are out there still doing it, but I mean,
one of those
you've
people
got
was Jay Kennedy. He had to hang his boots up because he couldn't get past turn one. So that probably same goes for me as well, to be honest. But no, sim racing is great. You do it all the time, don't you, Cam? You absolutely love it, and when you want to go out there and go real racing yourself, but you don't quite have the budget to be able to do it, this is the next best thing. And it's getting just better and better all the time. From the 7 years, 8 years that I've been involved in iRacing, it's really, really come a long way. And great to see, the fields are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The competition's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And yeah, it's just a great time to get involved in sim racing. So if you aren't involved, certainly send us a message. Either Facebook, you can check out our website, simspeed.tv, and get in touch with us. We can point you in the right direction on where you need to go, and come and join in the fun, because it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It's plenty of fun. I mean, obviously not everybody has thousands of dollars to throw out at a race car sort of thing. So best thing you can get into, really, and in fact a lot cheaper. I mean, I don't know any sort of case where you can go do 10 laps on the Nordschleife, for example, an hour later be on the track at Fuller Pond or Bathurst and racing, for example, a GT3 car at Nordschleife and a Supercar at Mount Panorama. So it's, one of those things that's just really, really good to be in.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It is really great. Both Cam and I actually grew up racing go-karts at the same go-kart club in Mount Wellington, New Zealand, and unfortunately that kart club's not there anymore. But yeah, we both would love to go racing, but the best thing about sim racing is you don't have to, spend weeks and weeks and weeks preparing the car to get out there and go racing to, for it to cost you an arm and a leg every time you go out. And with sim racing, you literally turn the computer on, go and have your fun, and then at the end of the night, turn it off, go to bed, and do all the same again the next time you want to go out. So get involved in iRacing. It's a lot of fun. On screen now, though, Kyle Stokes, he has really come a long way in sort of the last 12 months. He sort of really wasn't on the radar until it was about round 4 or 5 last year in V8 Scots, and he won one of the Split 2 races for V8 Scots, and has really moved on and progressed since then. So expect to see him really get up there. I don't know if he's got the outright pace to win it in a sprint race against these front guys, but certainly if things play in his favour, if your pit stop works out well and you manage to undercut the other guys out there, then he could certainly be one of those top guys tonight. Actually, looking at P number 4 though, Jack Boyd, he has moved past Marlon McMullen, so fantastic job by him.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really good lap there actually by him to get ahead of Marlon. I mean, he improved about not too much, but it's just been enough to move him up those extra few places, and that's the good thing about the Supercar is that it's so close that even just that minimal amount of time gain puts you up like multiple positions. So yeah, really good to see as we've actually got the checkered flag out, so everybody who's on a lap at the moment will really have to put their head down and really try to put a good one in, because this is going to be the last chance really. Oh, he goes quicker as well, but no, he actually doesn't.
There we go. Yeah, absolutely nothing in it at all. So I think we've pretty much got the lap set there. Gwilym, no, he's not on a lap. We have Ross Rizzo here. Can he improve coming into the last turn? Now, going to launch it off that curb, get the drive out. Don't know if he's going to be able to do it though. No improvement there by Rizzo. So there we go. Spoke too soon. Ross Rizzo pulls it out of the bag, takes that position away from Marlon. Can James Mackey improve on the track, potentially getting faster? No, he's going to pull into the pit lane. So P10 for him. Greg Sharp on screen, he is finished up. Don't know if we have too many more. Jordan Ross pulling into the pits also.
I think
Andrew
Gillum might be on one, but apart from that, I think that's it.
Either way, we have got the grid up, so there's going to be KRF Motorsports. Brett Loxton, he's going to secure P number 1. Followed very closely behind Synergy Sim Racing's Jordan Ross. Harley Haber, first of the Redback cars, sits in P3. Jack Boyd, well done to you, buddy, sitting in P4. Ross Rizzo, we just saw him move up there. He is in P5. Marlon McMullen, 6. Jackson Susan Harlow, he moved up. The last time I saw him, he was sitting in P number 10. So 7th for Jackson. Andrew Gwilym in 8th. Then we go through to ninth will be Kyle Stokes. James Mackey will round out the 10.
And then from 11th to 20, we have Damien Johnston and James Scott in 11th to 12th. 34th to Matt Morris and Bradley Ratu, Michael Taliancic and Kyle Leach in 15th, 16th respectively. 17th, 18th, Kirsten Smart and Scott Clark. And then rounding out the top 20 will be Greg Sharp and Gene Finn.
There we go, back to David Kidman in P21. P22, Matt Leopardhaven. Henry King, a little bit further back than I'd expect, in 23rd. Then we go back to Luke Page in 24th. Scott O'Keefe, 25th. Brian Bateman, 26th. Matt Muggleton, 27th. Mitchell Bales in 28th. Nathan Tregartha in 29th. Jaden Borg in 30th.
31st, we have Peter Sattler, followed by Gavin Cox in 32nd. 33rd and 34th, Dominic Ferraris and Christopher Kesey. Tony Gaffer and Scott Gamble in 35th and 36th. 37th and 38th, Rob J. Harris and Tom Freer. And then rounding out the top 40 is Mark Samuel, Nick.
There we go, and then the last of the grid, we've got Daniel Stevens, 41st, 42nd, Matthew Dare, Joel Kenton in 43rd, Tim Foltz, 44th, 45th, Brenton O'Brien. He's a little bit further back than he would like in 45th, and then 46th, Shane Evans, Darren McKenzie, 47th, Jake Maloney, 48th, and Simon Pitt, 49th. Not going to have too much longer before the revs start rising. These guys take off. This is going to be a really, really interesting race. I tell you what, Cam, you really can't pick who is going to take this one out.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of quality drivers in this field, so could be anybody's guess as to who's going to win this. But lights coming on now, so we're going to get ready to go, Ray.
There we go. That Supercar is looking good, sitting on the grid there. Revs rise. Who's going to get the jump? Green flag flies. Great start there from Brett Loxton.
Great start from Haber as well.
Yep, Haber, very great start. Got off the line very well. He's going to look in there. Probably a little bit too early there, Harley. But he moves into P2, so a little bit of an average start there from Jordan Ross, getting through pretty cleanly in the back, however. Everyone managing to make their way through pretty cleanly. Very forgiving track. Here we go. It's on for the lead. Harley Haber is challenging, and he's going to get the job done. There we go. Well done to Haber. I did say that he would challenge early. Harley certainly hasn't let me down there. And I reckon that Jordan Ross is going to pounce on Brett Loxton pretty early. Brett's car does not look to be that well set up, and there's already a little bit of a gap forming between Loxton and Haber now. As you're seeing Jordan Ross there looking up the inside, there's not going to be really much of a passing opportunity unless you can get the run, get him under brakes. I don't think he's going to be close enough. Looking a little bit further back, Marlin's looking on Rizzo. Then we've got SimWorks car going in there as well. So that's TCL Esports and supported by SimWorks. Got a pass on here. Into turn one. Great move there from Damien Johnson. Side-by-side action here for Matt Morris. James Mackey. Mackey reneges and gives the position. Pretty clean start to the race, really. A lot cleaner than what we would normally see.
Yeah, it's actually been quite a good start so far. Everybody seems to have sorted themselves out pretty good. I mean, a couple of guys making up positions further back. There's an incident from what I saw between one of the CMR cars, but for the most part, everybody's got through pretty cleanly, but a couple of battles still going on for the minor positions inside the top 10.
Yeah.
Oh, McMullen goes through on Rizzo, and now Harlow's going to be all over the back. Oh, no, he's actually not. He's actually got a bad run, so now Stokes is going to have a look around the outside, and this could possibly even break Gilliman.
Here we go, 3 wide into turn one. Can't do it, no. We're going to have that back car there. Stokes, Gwillem's going to back out. Now Gwillem's going to be under pressure from Johnston here potentially, but the battle is on just in front of them. We've got Kyle Stokes, Jackson Susan Harlow really battling it out. Jordan Ross not making any ground really on Brett Loxton. Loxton looking like he's a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, I think it might have been the way that Loxton set up his tyre pressures. He maybe thought about it and actually set the tyres up to come on a little bit later, take a little bit to warm up, but once they're warmed up, he seems to have started to haul in Haber, so we probably might see him on the back of Haber in a few laps' time.
Yep, I think you're probably right. You're probably right there as we're just watching Harley Haber now. He's extended his lead out to half a second, so hasn't really taken off too much from these guys. I think you might be right there, Cam, by saying that tyre pressures played a big key role. As we're seeing a battle here, Kyle Stokes is going to make this move. Oh, side-by-side action here between... Oh, a little bit of contact there between these two cars. Fantastic battling. These guys keeping it clean. Going to have the Logitech car, the inside run. We're going to go side-by-side again, though. Oh, this is fantastic stuff here. We're going to continue to go side-by-side. A very difficult part of the track, and this is leaving it all open here to Gwilym. Gwilym has got the box seat in this one. Oh, here we go, a little bit of sideways. Here we go. So Harlow is going to miss out on that one. He's going to get bumped out of the way. He's going to lose a few positions. And Johnson is going to be in with a grin here. Here we go. This is dangerous this here because we've got cars everywhere. We've got fast guys a little bit further back.
Gwilym's going to try and go around the outside.
Oh, here we go. This could be contact.
Not quite.
He's not going to get the run, and this is going to lead that
it's Stokes off the road.
Stokes is really pushing hard. I think he's going to have enough room getting into turn one. We've got Morris in this mix as well. We've got Harlow. We've got Andrew Gwilym. Oh, there's sideways action going on, and this is, look at the bunch of cars forming behind these guys now. This is where incidents start to happen. People getting impatient. Here we go, the Pursuit Sim Racing car's going to be left on the outside. We're going to have,
Gwilym
there. He's
Harlow there.
Yeah, Harlow was quite aggressive in that turn in. Pursuit car, however, though, is in a bad position being on the outside of the track, and he's on the outside again of one of his own teammates. Oh, there we go, we've got a car. The CMR car's just gone around. That's James Mackey, so he'll be absolutely disappointed with that one. Replay coming up on screen now. Big thanks to LeBlanc for the support of the series. Also a massive thanks to West End Mazda. Jamie McKnight from West End Mazda does an absolutely fantastic job as we're seeing more contact.
Gwilym.
That was a big incident there in the last turn. Gwilym has been turned around, and we've got cars galore at the back there. We've got Clark also getting involved in that one. We've got cars pulling into the pit lane. There's cars everywhere. Where do we look?
I don't know, because there's just cars going everywhere. I mean, it's great that this battle's going on everywhere, but it's just so hard to keep up because it's all going on everywhere.
Certainly is. So we've got Andrew Gwilym really struggling, driving the Holden Cruise at this stage in the race. Missing his rear boot lid. Got one of the Penrite cars firing it up the inside there. That's Peter Sattler, I believe. On for the lead though, on for the lead. Brett Loxton's car has come on, and he is chasing down Harley Haber. These guys will go at it, and it's things will get heated between these two. Brett Loxton certainly don't like to give any room, and well, neither does Harley.
Oh,
really pressing on there. You're seeing wheels dropping off left, right, and centre. Jordan Ross lost a little bit of ground there to Loxton, but if these guys go at it, which it looks like they are, then this could close both of these cars up here. Jack Boyd's also going to be in the mix, riding the back shot there from Haber. Looking back at that very angry Zuba Racing car. Yep, Loxton is very fast. That car is looking hooked up, and yeah, Harley went for the quick dash on those first, on the opening lap, which probably wasn't a bad idea, but I think Brett's car looks very, very smooth now, and Harley will start to come under pressure very soon. We're seeing, I think, another car potentially going around as well. No, Matt Muggleton struggling there at the back. Yeah, Nathan Tregarthen off the track now in his Holden Cruise. Oh, there we go. Replay on screen now. Yes, thanks again to LeBlanc for coming on board and helping out. He's just been tagged there, potentially. Oh, there we go. Did it all by himself. Oh,
Was actually assisted there, big hit.
slightly assisted. I think he was already gone. But, yeah, would have sustained a serious bit of damage on that one. Looking back out towards the front note, Harley Haber doing a pretty good job at holding Brett Loxton off. There we go. Jackson Susan Harlow under all sorts of pressure. Just recently joined the TTL Esports camp.
Yeah, Jackson seems to be doing quite well at the moment, putting a pressure on Morris, who seems to be a little bit slower, about half a second slower actually. So, going to be interesting to see whether Jackson can get past. He hasn't had too great of a race so far, but he's doing all right to recover what he's pretty much lost after that contact with, I'm pretty sure it was one of the, no, it was with Kyle Stokes actually, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Looking like he's going to get a run on here.
Oh, looking.
He's looking, we're having a car defending very hard though, that'll be Matt Morris. He's going to go to the outside. Oh, there's going to be contact here. Very difficult position that Jackson put himself in there. He's going to lose that ground, so he's already had a few hits. I'm sure that car won't be driving 100% straight at the moment. He's got away with what he has. He's only missing that right front guard at the moment.
Yeah, a little bit of his own fault there. It looked like he just tuned in a bit too early and didn't quite expect Morris to be there. So probably need to back it off a little bit or give a little bit more room, and he should have been all right. But yeah, he's now got a little bit more work to do to try and catch back up to that Morris.
Certainly is. Riding on board now with Mark Samuel, manager of Redback Racing Team, and does a fantastic job. I can't stress enough how much of a great job he is doing, and really brought up, you know, the public image of Redback Racing Team, and does a fantastic job with all of their promotion and really just presenting themselves well. So continue. No, other teams out there, you're looking at that CMR car there, some fantastic liveries out on track. Fitties. Oh, there we go in that CMR car. He's going to get three. He's going to get both of them, I reckon, coming into turn one here. This could be dangerous.
Though.
Yeah, he is on the outside. Is he going to get the run? Oh, there's going to be contact. Is he going to be able to hold on to it? Oh, yes, he does. Just well done there. All that momentum, though, he's lost, and now he's going to be under all sorts of pressure. This is going to give the run there to Samuel, and now Tony Gaffer is going to put all sorts of pressure on James McKee.
McKee's all over the back end of Samuel, though, so gonna be interesting.
Oh, this is dangerous, these guys. This track is very forgiving, though, so you can generally throw it off and get away with it as it's not too big. Samuel doing a fantastic job there at holding up Mackie. Don't know how long he'll be able to do it for, though. McKee looking very, very quick. Is he going to be able to pop him into the last turn? He's going to look. He's going to show his nose. And, oh, Samuel's going to hold him out, though. Oh, fantastic driving there from Mark Samuel.
Well, McKee might have the run.
I don't know. I don't think he's going to have the speed, though, to get him if Mark manages to hold that inside line, which he's going to do, as we've just seen in the last few laps. Oh, fantastic drive there around the outside. He's going to have the inside run into the next turn. Here we go, change to second position. So, Brett Loxton, I think that potentially he has made a mistake there. Thrown it off, because that has given up the position there to Jordan Ross. Oh, this battle here on though, P10.
Yeah,
Jordan Ross just made it past, sorry, Ken?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I just went back and looked, and it looks like Loxton just ran a little bit wide into the turn 4 corners, so and that's allowed Ross to get through. So whatever mistake, and that's just pushing too hard. But yeah, that battle further back in the field,
just watching,
almost running into Johnson.
Yeah, that was a very, very aggressive entry onto the front straight. Oh, here we go. Taliansic's going to have the inside line. He's going to get this run. So Ratu, I believe. Yeah, Ratu in the way there. Oh no, that P number 12 is Bradley Ratu. We've seen some phenomenal pace out of him in recent times. I must remind these drivers who are running in this that they do need to submit their paints and whatnot to our website so we can show it on these broadcasts, because there's a couple of them out there. You go to simspeed.tv/member zone, sign up to member zone, be self-explanatory, submit your paint to the right broadcast, and then we will upload it. To read the RSM custom paint policy though. Things have slightly changed since January the 1st. There we go, seeing a great battle. Oh, that's super close. There we go. Sadler. A little bit of a mistake there. Going to close right up. Ooh, thought he was going to touch him in the back there. So Sadler, we've got Dominic Ferreras. Battle up here for Brett Loxton and Jack Boyd. So Loxton's struggling. Really lost ground on Jordan Ross, and Harley Haber is driving out into the distance at this stage. 1.5 seconds separating Harley Haber and Jordan Ross.
Yeah, it's really interesting that Loxton's actually lost the time.
There we go.
Boyd's not going to try the move. No, he's actually
Loxton's a good under brakes. He always has been excellent as he's actually locked that right front there. He's not going to quite get the run, and Boyd's going to get the run here. I don't think he's going to have enough, though, to fire it down the inside. Loxton will cover if he does.
Safety car's been deployed.
There we go. Wow, that is super early. Safety car has been deployed, so this is going to scramble these boys. I tell you what, because normally we'd see it pop out a little bit later after kind of the first stops had been done. So nobody has pitted yet. All right, you've got to pit now. You have to pit now. We're going to see pretty much the whole field roll in and make their pit stops, I would think. And it's going to be really who has potentially saved a little bit of fuel already. One person who I know would have saved fuel because he's a mastermind out. That'll be Ross Rizzo sitting back there in P number 6. Expect to see him make some pretty good moves. Well, certainly move up the order when it comes to doing the pit stop. We'll watch the pit light up very soon. So lap 14 of 47. We are nearly a third of the way through the race.
It's going to be very interesting to see who's actually saved the most fuel, and then who can actually look after their tyres in this next stint, because it was only 14 laps, so these drivers are going to pretty much have to save their tyres in this next stint to last pretty much the entire rest of the way, because the last thing you're going to want to do is either stay out and end up caught out with a green flag pit stop or burn your tyres up too quickly. So it'll be interesting to see who's possibly going to take advantage of this safety car and what we're going to see strategy-wise, and who could possibly even make gains or losses.
Yeah, one person I can see is definitely trying to save fuel, and that is Jordan Ross. Watch him go down the front straight there, just coasting the whole thing, and he must be in about third gear, I reckon, at the moment, because he's only just limping it around, clutching it at every opportunity. Fourth gear, there we go, fourth gear, so that's the way to save fuel. Haber doing a similar thing, so pretty much everyone will be doing that as we focus in. There we go, sixth gear.
Minimum revs.
Minimum revs. Engine probably getting close to stalling. We focus back out now. So pretty good start to the race, I reckon. Yeah, great little battles there. Haber had a fantastic jump to the start.
Yeah, he definitely did. He got a really great launch off the line, which is exactly what he needed to do from where he was. So we'll see what happens. I know this pit stop might shake things up a bit, and it'll be interesting to see what the safety car restart does, because when they pit, they can change tyre pressures. So you might find Loxton might come back into this. So gonna be a bit of a strategy play, could be a bit of racecraft. We'll see what happens.
Yes, we certainly will. Loxton will come back at this. None of these front cars have really sustained any damage. One person who was very quick towards the end there and has done a pretty good lap time, that is Jack Boyd, sitting in P4 at the moment. He was putting a lot of pressure on Brett Loxton those last couple of laps. We saw Marlon McMullen, though, not really right up there. He certainly was dropped off the pace a little bit, as we're going to watch pretty much everyone come into the pit lane. So here we go. So Loxton, here we go. So that was... Oh, Loxton's going to stay out.
That's actually a few cars staying out. So
wow, okay.
That's really where Jack Boyd and
that is
a couple
surprising. But in saying that, actually, no, because it's actually not a bad move there from Loxton. You think about this, how far back is Haber going to go? And are they going to be able to carve through the field? Loxton, no, they won't have many cars to go through, but still, it's going to be...
Oh, Rizzo's jumped in the... jumped.
There we go, I said it, Rizzo. No problems at all. He's in the mix, so... We've got a couple of guys there. So Boyd stayed out. Which is quite interesting. Morris stayed out as well. Damian Johnson stayed out. Christian Smart also stayed out. Peter Sattler stayed out. James McKee. Matthew Deere. Haber. So Haber did manage to still stay in front of Jordan Ross. Great stop yet again, though, for Ross Rizzo. He has done 2 seconds faster stop than basically anybody else. So he's taken on less fuel. But we all know how well Ross Rizzo can fuel save, so expect to see him really still be consistent and fast, but manage to save fuel at the same time. This is going to be an interesting restart, Cam.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you've got actually quite a few lap cars as well in the front of the field. So, well, not lap cars, but just cars that were down the order and have stayed out. So it's going to be probably messy. A lot of these guys are going to have to remember that they're going to have to just take their time and not overdrive the cars, and also not stick their nose in when they don't need to. So a bit of that racecraft and a bit of that patience is going to come into this, and we'll really see those who do actually know what they're doing and analyze the situation and just be patient and make the moves when they have to really, really do well, I reckon. As we've got one more lap under yellow at the moment.
Yep, there we go. One more lap. So, it'll be interesting to see how this all goes. I reckon that Harley shouldn't really be too worried, I don't think. I think he's got to just kind of keep it cool and kind of just make sure he stays out of trouble. Jordan Ross will be firing on all 8, though, and be wanting to get past Haber very early on. So basically exactly the same pit stop time for Ross and Haber.
Yeah, I mean, most of these guys that are just behind all these cars that have stayed out, just need to be patient. They also have to remember that they don't want to be too aggressive and burn their tires up too early, because that'll be the worst possible thing to happen. Because if that happens, then they're going to end up just being sitting ducks to those who possibly could have quick stops later on in the green flag period, or possibly we even have another safety car. So it's bit of strategy, but we'll have to see what happens. I mean, so far in this race, it's been absolute crazy, and almost anything's happened. So we'll really have to wait and see as to what plays out in the rest of this race.
Yeah, you're certainly right. Welcome to everybody joining us here on the iRacing Esports Network, also live on SimSpeed Esports Network's Facebook page. If you haven't already subscribed to the iRacing Esports Network on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, smash that subscribe button, give us a like on Facebook, check us out also on YouTube. Go check out our website at simspeed.tv if you are a person who races on and under one of the series that we broadcast and you haven't submitted your paints to us yet. Please do so. Jump on the website, SimSpeed member zone, which is simspeed.tv/member zone. You can sign up there, submit all your stuff. Got some pretty cool things happening in the future with that. Look forward to having you guys join us for those cool things, as well as we're getting ready for the restart. I reckon Loxton, it's going to be interesting to see. He's holding them up. When's he going to go? It won't be too far away. He's holding it up, and go. There he goes. So he's taken off very late launch there from Loxton. Jack Boyd, no slouch though, hanging right on the back there. Matt Morris also in the... They have not made their pit stop yet. Let's keep an eye out though for Harley Haber. He's looking up the inside of his teammate. There he goes, he's going to get it done, and Jordan Ross is going to do the same thing. Oh, he is going to manage to get that move done. So, oh, here we go, we've got a Marque. He was getting very sideways there through that section. Haber showing his nose, going to get that job done. So plowing through the field very, very quickly. Haber now has Mackie in front of him. Jordan Ross, though, managing to get through each time Haber does. And is he going to get the run? Yes, he is. So move done there for both of those guys. Clean start for both of them. Everyone else is reasonably clean. Too many incidents. We've got Loxton and Boyd, though. They have not really taken off from Morris. These guys certainly have older tyres than what Haber and Ross do. As Haber's coming on the front straight there, would have been slightly slowed up there. So this is going to give every bit of opportunity to Jordan Ross, who I reckon is probably going to throw it down the inside. No, so there we go. Haber's being held up by Deere. Will he give him a little bit of a love tap to let him know he's there? That's going to be the next question.
Yeah, Haber really needs to find a way by quickly so he doesn't get held up too long.
Here we go.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, that wasn't really hard to know, but this is going to leave the door open there for Ross. Ross is going to make the move because he's going to have the inside running for the next right-hander. Ross now moves into basically effective lead. Haber will not be too happy about that. That was kind of a bit of an interesting one. I think potentially the car was trying to get past. Got on the brakes. There we go. We're going to have a replay up in just a moment.
Yeah, I think Haber was just a bit too over-aggressive as he's putting the nose out, just trying to fill Ross's mirrors at the moment. But yeah, really, really unfortunate incident there for Deere, who just got caught out by Haber just being a little bit too aggressive. If he was a little bit more patient and just tried to think a few corners ahead to try and either outbrake Deere or try and get the run, he probably actually would have found that he would have got by quite cleanly. But yeah, that's really,
from an onboard angle. Let's see. So he's gone over to the left, and he's so potentially he just kissed that rear end, and because Deere was on the brakes, he has looking to spin. So I'm sure Race Control will look into that later on. I don't see a huge amount in that, but Race Control will certainly make their own decisions. We're looking at this battle though between Haber and Ross. Ross is a very good driver, so I don't think he's going to make it too easy for Haber to get past, potentially even pull away from Haber. Haber certainly would have worn out that rubber during that battle there. I saw a few corners ago. We're seeing a car at the inside there. Oh, that is...
Marque on Rosso. That was Peter Sattler.
Yes. Oh, there we go. Just make a trip through pit lane. Unscheduled stop. Might as well go some fuel while you're there, I reckon.
It's not a bad call, but yeah, really unfortunate for Peter there.
There you go. So these boys are really on a charge, aren't they?
Yeah, they absolutely are. Ross doing pretty well to pull away from Haber now after that incident and having that opportunity. I mean, he was doing quite well in following Haber and just letting Haber open the door for him, sort of, and just following Haber through. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes about catching up to Loxton, who is still yet to pit. So Loxton might actually be at a disadvantage here with how short the lap is and the traverse time, but we'll see what happens and whether those new tyres could possibly be a really, really key advantage here.
Yep, you're certainly right, mate. This is an interesting part of the race. So we are now at 21 out of 47, so not quite halfway. We will see another stop. Jordan Ross looking up the inside there of Christian Smart. He's going to get the job done, or is he? I reckon that Smart will try and hold up these guys because of his teammate, and that being Jack Boyd. He's not going to be able to. So those two boys managed to get past Smart now. The next target, Damien Johnson. He's a little bit further up the road. 3 seconds to be exact. Seeing a couple of passing opportunities potentially. Here we go. Taliancic back there battling with Bateman.
Yeah, Taliancic trying to get his way up the field and currently sitting P17, started 15, so he's lost 2 positions at this stage in the race, but he's got a couple of drivers ahead of him who have pitted, but probably not as quick. I mean, and also haven't pitted, so it's, yeah, he's gonna have to be pretty quick with his passing here if he wants to try and move up the field. He's gonna go up the inside of Rob Harris, and that will be P16 for him.
There we go. So Harris struggling a little bit there. Looking back out. And there we go. Harris has not pitted yet. We've been informed though, but looking right out the front. Jack Boyd putting a serious amount of pressure on Brett Loxton here. Haber also closing that gap to Jordan Ross. I reckon Boyd has the speed over Loxton. Certainly he was half a second faster on that last lap, and he's looking very racy at the moment. Is Loxton though potentially just trying to save a little bit of fuel?
Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. It's hard to tell, but these two at front are actually matching the likes of Ross and Haber, who are on brand new tyres as far as lap time goes. So this is actually really, really interesting. I'm not sure if Haber and Ross are holding each other up or whether that new fresh tyre advantage has gone off a little bit. But yeah, it's really, really interesting to see the lap time difference only being maybe a few tenths of a second as Ross does the quickest lap of the race, of the last lap contact between the two.
There we go. So slight contact between Ross and Haber. These boys going at it. We will get a replay on screen of that contact. These boys race hard, and no love lost between them. I think, look, Ross is struggling. Ross is really struggling with that rear end of that car, and Haber's all over the back. So, or just a little bit of contact there. Nothing really to look too into. Haber dropped back and certainly gave him the position up, but now he is looking super racing. He's going to show his nose, and he's going to make the move. Well done there to Haber. That was a good move there. That was a late lunge, but he's managed to pull it off, and pull it off cleanly he does.
Yeah, really, really late move there, but he got the job done. A little bit of contact from the rear end there on the way through to Ross, but at the moment he's got it done, and Gene Fiddies is around by the sounds of it, so really, really unfortunate for him, as he's actually not doing too bad, currently sitting piece 22 before that happened.
There we go, so not be happy with that. Oh man, Gene Fiddies, ooh, okay, Guy Leach, oh Guy, that's no good buddy, that's no good. Yeah, there we go, that's the gentleman driver that we know of, Guy Leach. So,
it's on for the lead though.
It certainly is on for the lead. Here we go. Jack Boyd is getting racy. He is letting Brett Loxton know that he wants to take this race lead. These guys do still, however, need to make a pit stop. But I think that Boyd certainly has the speed advantage. Here we go. He's got the run this time. He has got the run. He's going to pop his nose out there. Is he going to be able to pull it up? No, he's not. As I said earlier, Loxton incredibly good on the brakes. Loxton only really drives the V8 Supercar and does a lot of laps in it. So, yeah, I expect to see him right in the hunt of things for V8 Scots this year. We look a little bit further back. So, Haber has made the move on Ross. And now Ross, yep, I was just going to say, Ross Rizzo is closing the gap on these guys. A bonnetless Ross Rizzo at that. but still very fast. Actually, faster than basically everyone else,
Ross.
apart from Jordan Ross. So Ross is still very quick. Haber is also quick. So Haber and Ross Rizzo basically exactly the same lap time that last lap. It is back on for the lead. Jack Boyd wants to take that position off Loxton. I reckon if Loxton is saving fuel or needs to save some fuel, we should potentially just let Boyd go and then just sit in behind. Or maybe he's doing this for a reason. Just kind of give himself that little bit of a banker, but not give position away.
Yeah, Boyd looks like he might be getting held up a little bit here by Loxton, but hard to tell. I mean, the lap time difference is less than a tenth, well, just under a tenth, so the pace seems to be quite similar, but Loxton just seems to be a little bit quicker in other areas than Boyd does. So it's a bit of that whole trying to beat the guy ahead of you who's got the little bit of advantage, and that's where Loxton's actually run wide there. So now Boyd's going to go up the inside and take the race lead.
He certainly is, and he's going to have the inside running for the next turn, but Loxton's not going to give it up easily, but he's not going to be able to get the power down, I don't think. And there we go, Boyd is going to have it done, but Loxton's going to still continue on there. Boyd's going to have the inside running into the last turn, but as I said it all the time, look how good Loxton is under brakes, and he's going to do it on the outside. And here we go, this is going to bring Mike Morris right into the mix of things, and he's
Loxton with a lane.
Loxton, pit lane. That is probably a good move there from Brett Loxton.
Johnston as well.
So this is effectively giving to Haber. Now these guys are on older tyres now. They have done 12 laps since that pit stop, and this is going to give that advantage, I reckon, to certainly to Loxton, but we're watching Loxton just drop down and down and down and down. Loxton now goes back to P23. He's going to roll out the grid. P24. Here we go. Cars just going by. There we go. But new tyres. Is he going to be able to get past everybody as quickly as he would like? He has got a gap of 32.3 seconds separating himself and Matt Morris, our race leader at the moment. That was a great sort of, right time, right place there for Matt Morris. Saw Boyd and Loxton really go at it, but Boyd will look fast, and I think that he should be probably able to get past Morris here. But this battle yet continues on for Jordan Ross and Harley Haber. Ross wants that position back.
Yeah, he absolutely does. He's pushing pretty hard, and he seems to be keeping up with, although no front bodywork, but he's doing fairly well. But these boys ahead of him, Ross and Haber, battling pretty hard, and if they actually battle any harder, I reckon Rizzo could come back into this and be on for a podium.
Yep, I think you are right. The biggest question is, so do these guys, our director might be able to inform us secretly, do these guys need to make another stop, don't they? He is informing me that they should be good. So that is going to be the next question. Is there tie? We've got Loxton, who is sitting back in 23rd position. He's 31 seconds behind, so he's already managed to catch up slightly to these guys.
There's Boyd's actually in pit lane.
Oh, whoa, there was nearly contact there between the car leaving the pit lane and Jordan Ross. That was super close. Yeah, what, spare pair of undies for dear.
Oh, Ross is looking, but he's not quite able to do it.
Yeah, I think that these guys need to think about this. They probably need to work as a bit of a team here. And just try and kind of let the other one go, I think, if they want to take the race win, because Loxton is closing at a great rate of knots. Brett Loxton up to P number 21. Here we go. Wow, that was big, but he's going to overshoot it. And this is going to... Yeah, there we go. Rizzo in. In with a grin goes Ross Rizzo. Big thanks to LeBlanc. Instant replay. Here we go. What happened here? Jordan Ross just chucked it up there. Did what Harley did, but he's overshot it. Didn't manage to pull it up. And Ross Rizzo managed to sneak his way by there. So here we go. Ross Rizzo could be in with the grin for the race win. Hey, that rhymed. Look at that. Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely could, but there's 26 seconds between Loxton and Haber, and Loxton doing 106.9 that last lap compared to Rizzo, who did a 1 minute 8.1. Obviously a bit of a pass there, but that's a massive time. Loxton does a 106.5, so the gap continues to come down, and it's at a great rate of knots.
Yep, it certainly is. So a total time in the lane stop 34 seconds for Haber, and Loxton was 34 seconds as well, so exactly the same. So Loxton potentially with a huge advantage. We had the last lap by. Harley Haber did a 108.3 last lap by for Loxton to 106.5. So we've got basically nearly 2 seconds as we see Matt Morris, our race leader, go into the pits. Riding on board now with Jackson Susan Harlow. He's currently sitting in P number 7, closing in on James Scott there in the Evolution Racing Team Holden Commodore. Jackson needs to submit his paints to us. Normally they should have a SimWorks along the side, new sponsor there for TTL Esports this season, which is fantastic to see SimWorks get back involved with iRacing and the V8 Supercar series. They were a big supporter of ANZ Motorsport for a few years, my team, when I used to race, and they were on the side of the car when Jared Philsell won his first V8 Scots title. And they're back on board with another sim team as we now focus on this battle between Harley Haber and Ross Rizzo. Jordan Ross. Haber has managed to pull a slight gap though, 0.9 of a second. So
Ross is quicker. Jordan Ross is actually quicker than these two ahead of him as well. So
yep, only just by the last lap. But let's look at our man Brett Loxton. Where is Mr. Loxton? Mr. Loxton is back in P number 17, and there is a gap of 25.6 seconds. So that gap is closing, and closing very, very fast. We're on lap 33 of 47. 15 laps to go. Can Loxton do it is the next question. He is pushing and pushing very, very hard.
Yeah, absolutely. He's trying to extract every little bit of pace he can at the moment, being the quickest on track by about a 10th compared to the likes of Haber and Rizzo. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes and how many positions he can gain from this point on.
Yes, you're exactly right. Currently focused on... Oh, there we go. Loxton, he's struggling. He's pushing. That may be it. That may be the race win done there for Loxton, because this is going to leave the gap open. Evolution Racing Car. We're going to see what happened. I think he's just dropped the wheel, or he's just thrown it up the inside there potentially. Oh! There we go. Misses braking point. Quite hard when you are behind someone that close to get it absolutely right every time, and the aero's different. We're back live now. Loxton didn't lose a position out of that, so he was lucky, but that gap between Loxton and Haber, 27.6 seconds. So lost a tiny bit of ground there. That could be it there. That could be it, because the last lap basically was 3 seconds slower for Loxton.
Yeah, absolutely. And that slide will have hurt the tyre a little bit as well. So that tyre is probably starting to go away on him just from being abused so much, from pushing so hard. So he's going to have to be careful, but if he can manage to keep the tyre under him, he shouldn't do too much damage, and he'll end up closing back.
Here we go. Ross Rizzo is closing up on Harley Haber. I did say it earlier that Ross would be fast. He would be there at the end of the race, and he has not disappointed. A bonnetless Commodore is that of Ross Rizzo. We saw himself, Forzen El Nabi, claim the V8 Scots Bathurst 1000 last year, the biggest race in the Aussie Z racing community for every year, pretty much. And yeah, he's certainly come a long way. We've seen him win championships, seen him, he's always there or thereabouts. Doesn't always win every race, but come the end of the season, well, you can almost guarantee that Ross Rizzo is going to be in with a grin.
Yeah, he's one of those drivers that is the dark horse of the championship most of the time. He's not right at the pointy end all the time. He's just chipping away, doing exactly what he needs to do, having consistent finishes, staying out of trouble, and just getting those points to the point where he ends up with them all in the bank and pretty much ends up winning the championship. So be interesting to see how he goes this season in the Australian Online Supercar Championship, as Loxton has got by on Matt Morris. Matt Roundweg, sorry.
There we go. Brad Loxton has been passed by Matt Morris. So Matt Morris, tremendous pace. We were focused on him. He was leading this race early on, and I think that moment between Loxton where he just missed his braking zone has potentially just ruptured his run, and now he's got pressure to deal with. He's got cars in front of him. Oh, big moment there from Loxton. Tell you what, this is where this is the point where it's quite frustrating for a driver, and you can see people making mistakes. Loxton's got past Morris, and now Morris has managed to slip one by him. We are seeing, here we go, Morris is seriously driving, putting all sorts of pressure on that car in front, and we're going to have Loxton looking up the inside. There could be contact.
Contact!
There we go, there was contact there. I think that was probably Matt Morris's fault. He turned in. There was Loxton had his nose in there, and he has lost out from that. So has Loxton sustained any damage from that is the next big question. I don't think this race win is his anymore, because it's 28.2 seconds separating himself and Haber at the moment.
Yeah, and with only 11 to 10 laps to go, he's going to struggle to really pull that gap in at this point. So really, really unfortunate for Loxton to have made that call there, as it's really cost him, but we'll see what the battle at the front is doing, because Rizzo's starting to actually catch Haber. He's a little bit slower that last lap by, but still quicker than John Ross. So Haber doing a pretty good job holding on at this stage, but Rizzo's very, very strategic in the way that he drives, so could possibly see the tyres start to come on for Rizzo and Haber start to have used them up too much, possibly.
Yeah, I think so. These tyres are getting pretty old though. 22 laps these guys have done on their stint, and yeah, that Dunlop rubber will certainly be wearing down. So these guys should be on pretty similar pace. It's just going to be who has looked after that tyre just a little bit more than their competition around them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's doing stuff like not wheel spinning, not looking at tyres, not overturning the wheel into the corners and all that sort of stuff. And then also using anti-roll bars to just help save the tyre a little bit by either inducing a little bit of understeer or just not making the car wheel spin too much. So bit of trickery into how to save tyres in the supercar, but at this stage, going to be very, very interesting to see whether Rizzo is going to manage to keep up or not.
There we go, and looking at the man on screen now, Jackson Susan Harlow. We saw him at the start of the race get tangled up. We saw him go on two wheels there and put himself in bad positions, but he has managed to redeem himself and really make his way up there. Currently sitting in P6, doing a fantastic job. The car looking pretty straight, to be honest, considering he has had a few little rubs here and there with people, but we're seeing a battle here. Back, Jake Maloney, Brian Bateman. We've got Maloney throwing it up the inside. Oh, big launch off the curb, why don't you? And he's going to do it all the way around the outside. Fantastic move there from Maloney. There we go. Started last. He always likes to start last on this thing and just drive through the field, see how far he can go. He's been around for quite a few years, and just turns up here on a Friday, has a good time. And you can see he is one of the drivers there, the TTL camp, that have just got SimWorks on board. This battle back here, however, we have got Mark Samuel, Brenton O'Brien, both two team managers. Brenton O'Brien runs the Evolution Racing team, does a fantastic job with their campaign in both GT and V8 Supercar stuff. And you've got Mark Samuel just behind him, who can't have about enough when it comes to the dedication that he puts into his team, and loves to go out there and have a run at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. The two team managers having a go at each other. Brenton doesn't tend to put a lot of time into the V8 compared to Mark Samuel, but still manages to get out there and actually do not too bad. So keep an eye on that battle in the meantime, as Samuel is actually not doing too bad. He's looking for a move. Not quite going to get it done though. But Ross Rizzo has actually closed the gap on Haber at the moment.
Here we go.
That last lap, so it's going to be all on in these last handful of laps.
There we go. We are at lap number 40 of 47, and it could be Ross Rizzo who manages to claim this one. Harley Haber has driven a fantastic race, however, though he has been aggressive at stages, and he has also been patient at stages as well. So any one of these guys certainly deserve it. Jordan Ross hanging in around in the background there. See that Synergy Sim Racing car looking pretty smooth to all the Synergy Sim Racing cars. We've got one man who we are missing is Brenton Hobson. He hasn't been around sim racing in the last few weeks, been dealing with an illness himself, and we certainly wish him all the best and a speedy recovery getting back into it, because I certainly miss not having him on track. I'm sure he's going to come back fighting bigger than ever as we are watching this battle unfold here between Rizzo and Haber. Haber really struggling at the later stages of the race, and Rizzo, you can just see that car is just so smooth. Haber is just struggling in that rear end now to get the power down. He's used those Dunlops quite hard during these 24 laps, struggling to get the power down, and Ross is on a hunt. He wants this position, he wants this race win.
Yeah, I don't think Haber's going to give it to him too easily, though. We know how hard Haber races and the aggression that he has that he can use to his advantage, but we know Ross is a very calculated and sensible driver, so as you can see, just trying to fill the mirrors of Haber there to try and distract him. But we know with Haber having that real life experience and being the way that he is, it shouldn't phase him too much. So gonna have to keep an eye on it, and should these two actually start battling quite hard, Jordan Ross is right there to take advantage as well. So Rizzo's really gonna have to think about this move if he wants to get it done and not actually get caught by Jordan Ross either.
Yes, you are exactly right. Do never count out Jordan Ross. He will be in as fast as anybody, and I'll tell you what, this battle though for these guys in front is just gonna mix it up. We are now on lap number 42 of 47, not long to go. A very, very short race in this championship, one of the shortest we will see. Oh,
Haber with a bit of
Haber defending. Oh, there we go. A little bit of a shunt to boot there for Jordan Ross. He was, I think he just maybe outbraked himself. I thought it was going to be a little bit more physical. Here we go. So he's showing his nose. Rizzo, however, is holding him off. This could get dangerous between these guys. There we go. Replay. Henry King. Henry King is a big part of the sim community. Oh, he's done it all himself.
Oh, he actually had contact with another car prior to that in the chicane. I'm not sure who it was. I actually missed it, but it was fairly big whack. His car was stopped in the middle of the chicane. It was actually Tim Foltz going slow, and he's actually had nowhere to go, really. So really unfortunate there for Henry King to have had that happen.
That is unfortunate. Tim Foltz, he's been around for a little while, and to see him spinning out there and causing carnage. However, we look right up the front though. This battle, the first, second and third is unfolding, and look what's in front of them, lap cars. This makes it interesting. Are these guys just going to get out the way and let these guys battle it out, or are they going to cause an issue and potentially change the race result? We've got Haber getting past. We're going to have Ross Rizzo managed to get past, and also Jordan Ross is going to get past the first of those lap cars. Now on lap number 44, we are in the dying stages of the race, and what a fantastic race we have had. Brett Loxton, however, he is struggling. I think something has happened to him since that moment, and he is just dropping very, very quickly.
Yeah, he's probably used those Dunlops a little bit too early on for his liking, and that green flag pit stop really was a bad strategy call, I reckon, because he just hasn't had the pace in the end to manage to close that gap up. So really, really unfortunate. But on the lead now, Rizzo's got a run on Haber here, and Haber's going to go defensive again, but Rizzo's going to stick behind and try and get the run of the chicane. Is he going to do it? It looks like...
Oh, he's got the run. Yes, he does. But I reckon Haber's going to defend into turn 1. You've got to go wide.
Oh, maybe not.
Maybe not. He's going to go wide. He's going to try and go on the outside. He could get maybe the drive out of here.
Oh, Ross is
here we go.
Have a look
Jordan Ross, though, he's not going to get the run either now. Oh, this is super, super close. Who's going to pop the move down into here? Does Ross Rizzo have the brakes underneath him? Does he have the car underneath him? This is going off here for the race win.
And they've only got 2.5 laps to go as well, and Rizzo really needs to be careful here because he needs to get the move done, but not leave the door open for Jordan Ross either. So it's going to be anyone's guess as to who's going to possibly win this. If Haber can hold off, it'll be a really good drive from him, and I'm pretty sure his 3rd race win in the series. I know he won the Roval round not too long ago in the previous season, but it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens here.
Yep, certainly will be. He won the opening round, I think it was.
Oh!
There we go, here we go. But I think that Ross had to get off the gas there, and Rizzo's going to hold that inside line going into turn 1, and Jordan Ross is going to have to try and go around the outside. He's not going to be able to do. He's going to brake, but can he get the in and out coming out the turn? I don't think so. This is giving a little bit of breathing room there to Haber. 1 second exactly separating those two cars. Now, if these guys could potentially catch back up to Haber, but if Haber can just drive a very straight race and not make any mistakes, he might be able to get away with this. But potentially, here we go, this could be interesting. We have lap traffic, but he's going to get out the way. I'll tell you what though, Jordan Ross is looking fast, and he's going to have a look. He's going to have a look, and he's not going to be able to do it. Oh, fantastic driving between these two. Ross Rizzo is going to manage to do it, but this is only opening up that gap there for Harley Haber. That's 1.5 seconds separating those two guys now. So Haber will be laughing all the way to the bank as we're going to come in to cross the line for our last lap. What a fantastic race we've had tonight. Certainly one of the better ones. Here we go. We've completely forgotten about our 4th place person. That is Kyle Stokes. Evolution Racing Team, reasonably new to the RSS service. He could get up here. How old are his tyres compared to the others? Basically exactly the same. Oh, has he managed to look after it? He certainly hasn't been battling like these two guys.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Don't know if he's got it. We don't have much of the lap left. However, look at Mr. Haber. He will be smiling from ear to ear because he... Oh, that was...
Peter Sattler off in the background there.
Yeah, there we go. Sattler, he's around in the background. Haber only has this corner, 1 to go after this, and he has managed to claim his 2nd victory of this season in the Australian Online Supercar Championship presented by West End Mazda. As we come through the last turn, the right, the left, and Haber's going to put his foot down. What a fantastic drive there from Haber, but we've got a battle back here for...
Oh, Stokes won't get it, not quite in the line.
Right. I'll tell you what, that was a fantastic battle from those top 3 cars. Look at Haber there in the background. Oh, bit of a contact there between these two. He will be disappointed about that. He wanted to do the big burnout. And,
here we go. For 13th though, for the miners, Bateman and Sharp's going to go up the inside, and now it's going to let Loxton through.
Yep.
And Loxton's going to go with a drag race to the line with Jack Boyd, and he's just not quite going to get it.
I tell you what, well done to Boyd. However, those guys made the wrong move to stop after the safety car. That was not the best of moves, but hey, you live and you learn, and this is racing. Hey, what a fantastic event we've had tonight. Absolutely loved it. I love these sprint races because it's just intense the whole way. We now look forward to the results. Big, massive congratulations goes to Harley Haber. Absolutely fantastic drive from him. He used his head well. He was aggressive. We saw him have a little bit of contact there with one of the slower cars. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with race control. I don't know if there's too much in it, but they will certainly make that call. Second position, however, Ross Rizzo. Fantastic drive from him. He qualified down in 6th or 7th, I think, and he's come back to finish in 2nd, so well done to Ross. Jordan Ross from Synergy Sim Racing will finish in 3rd. Kyle Stokes, what a drive from him. We kind of left him out of the lurch there until the last lap when our director informed us that he was right there and could get amongst it. He will finish in 4th. Marlon McMullen in 5th. Jackson Susan Harlow, great recovery from him to finish in 6th. James Scott will finish in 7th. Great drive there from Michael Taliancic. Not really on our radar too much. He's managed to come home in 8th position. Then 9th we had Bradley Ratu. Andrew Gwillem will round out the 10.
In 11th we have David Kinman, followed by Jake Maloney in 12th. 36 positions gained in that from dead last on the grid, so really good drive from Maloney there. 13th goes to Greg Sharp, followed by Jack Boyd. 15th, Brett Loxton, after just falling short of getting past Jack Boyd at the end there. Matt Morrison 17th, and 17th goes to Braden Bateman, followed by Dominic Ferrer-Slip, Matt Levitt-Devon, and Mark Samuel rounding out the top 20.
There we go, back to 21st. Scott Gamble in 21st. Guy Leach, a little bit further back than he would like. We saw him get tangled up there with somebody. He will finish in 22nd. Tony Gaffer, 23rd. James Mackey, and 24th. He was on our screens a few times and got caught up with an issue. Christian Smart will finish in 25th. Damian Johnson, 26th. Mitchell Bales in 27th. Daniel Stevens, 28th. Simon Pitt in 29th. And rounding up the 30 will be Brenton O'Brien.
31st will go to Rob Harris, followed by Peter Sutton in 32nd, 33rd, and 34th. Shane Evans and Gene Fiddies, Matthew Deere and Luke Page, 35th and 36th. 37th, 38th, 39th, and 40th will be Nathan Tregarth and Jaden Borg, Henry King, and rounding out the 40, Nick Hyde.
There we go, and then we go to 41st, Darren McKenzie, Tim Foltz in 42nd, Mac Muggleton in 43rd, Gavin Cox in 44th, Scott Clark, 45th, Christopher Kessie, the man from the Flat Chat podcast. He will be certainly disappointed in that one. He will finish in 46th. Joel Kenton, 47th. Scott O'Keefe in 48th. And Matthew Clote in 49th. And then Tom Freer in 50th. So that rounds out our round 3 of the Australian Online Supercar Championship presented by West End Mazda. Can't thank West End Mazda enough for their support of the iRacing community. And, well, we are joined in the box by someone who always manages to do a fantastic job. And I'm wondering when he's going to come back and commentate with us, because he did a pretty good job at that too. And that is the man, Ross Rizzo. Ross, tell me how you do it. How do you guys always manage to keep yourselves clean? You know, you don't always put yourself right up the front of the grid, but come the end of the race, you're always there or thereabouts.
I tend to leave a margin of error whenever I drive, and for some reason at Donington, that seems to be one of the fastest ways around the track. So I really, really enjoy this track and the way you can preserve tires and, you know, the ebb and flow of the race. Because I was nowhere at the start, but towards the end, as the tire wear came down, it was all to play for. So it was very, very exciting race, certainly from the driver's seat, and it's great to be competitive at tracks like this, because the racing is just phenomenal.
Yeah, that is very true, and very interesting track is Donington. It's kind of quite forgiving. I saw you driving around there with a bonnetless Commodore, and how was the track tonight? Did it come on? Did it go away? How do you find, since the day-night transitions, what's the difference in the car you feel, and what do you like or dislike?
I felt the track responded more in qualifying to track temp. You could really extrapolate more pace if you went out at the right time when the conditions suited. During the race, though, I wanted it to just get hotter and hotter and hotter because I seemed to be faster, or at least had more of an advantage as it got a little slipperier and a little greasier. But yeah, the track was very sensitive to track temp changes, and I must say a lot more fun probably in the cool. You can really use the full extent of the track and get some really good traction. But I would prefer to have driven it when it was slipperier and greasy, and the cars get more attitude, and you see cars sliding around and dropping wheels in the dirt. I think that's when it's more exciting.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Well, it was certainly an exciting race either way. It was certainly on between you front three, and we certainly couldn't call who was going to win the race if somebody made a mistake and the other person was in. And Kyle Stokes really came through to catch you guys up. So, who do you need to thank tonight, Ross?
First of all, massive congratulations to Harley on that magnificently mature drive. I guess he learnt a lot from the from last season as well, and kept his tyres in check. So congratulations, mate, and congratulations to Redback on that victory as well. So to Trick Sim Sports, Trick Custom Fabrications, and Night Rider Designs, and also to SimSpeed TV and the iRacing Esports Network, and to Stealth Sim Force and the AOSC for the series.
Yes, well, thank you very much for coming and joining us in the comms box for an interview, mate. It's been absolutely a pleasure having you in, as always, and please do come back and join us for some commentary at some point.
Yeah, I'd like to come back. I've got a full plate this year, so hopefully I'll be able to step in every now and then. But for now, I'll keep enjoying the racing, and continue to enjoy the broadcasts of SimSpeed.
Yes, well, thank you very much. Yes, we certainly love putting it on, and we look forward to talking to you the next time we talk to you, Ross.
Very much, guys.
Yes, well, yeah, we'll pretty much wrap up our round 3 of the Australian Online Supercar Championship. What a fantastic event we've had. It was a very interesting track, very short track, Donington National Circuit, 106 lap times, and we saw plenty of action happening. Just looking at the track now, so much rubber has been laid on the track. What are your thoughts on tonight, Cam?
Yeah, it was a pretty interesting race. A lot happened with through the field, so really good battles. But yeah, really good into it after what was going to be. Who knows what was going to happen? So yeah, going to be interesting to see how the next round goes, and who's going to come out on top, and whether Haber can actually make another win, as it's going to be at Daytona.
Yes, it certainly is. It's going to be at Daytona. 650, so an endurance race. We're back for round 2 of the Endurance Championship, and what a fantastic first round of the Endurance Championship we had. So, yes, please do stay tuned in, but the action doesn't stop here. We are back next Monday for the iRacing official V8 Supercar Series, back at Donington. And if it was, saw tonight, certainly going to be a fantastic race. Only 26 laps, so a really short race for a Monday. That is the Aussie Driver Search iRacing official V8 Supercar Series, and we've seen some fantastic battles, some fantastic racing throughout that, and it's really a pleasure to have the Aussie Driver Search on board with us for that. And certainly if you don't know what the Aussie Driver Search is, go and check them out, because it's a really good cause and really great opportunity for people to make a step into real world motorsport. And also next week we have Formula 3 Championship, which was a great race last night, and we also have the Rallycross as well on Wednesday. So there's plenty of action going on next week, but I think that will wrap us up for tonight. You've been tuning in to the iRacing Esports Network. Please do hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on our page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, SimSpeed TV, and we will look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for joining us.